Hello students, good morning everyone. Welcome back on our e-learning platform of GS College of Commerce, Wardha, and I am your subject teacher for Business Economics, BCCA 3rd Sem. In last lecture, we have seen about what is firm and what is industry. Rather, we are in our 4th unit where we are learning what is market structure. Okay, what are the different types of markets, how it is classified on the base of place, time and competition. As we have to focus mainly on classification of market on the basis of competition, and when we call or when we say competition, it means again on the basis of competition the market is classified into imperfect market and perfect market, and in that particular form under there are different kinds of sellers. Okay, and see, when we use the word competition, it means what? There are persons. Okay, because all these we are going through after theory of production. Once the goods are produced and now they are ready to sell in the market, the producer will sell his products, his commodities in the market. Now here in our 4th unit, as this unit starts with market structure. Okay, what is market structure? When the goods are coming in the market, rather they are introduced by the producers in the market, and when these goods are ready to sell or when the goods are sold in the market, there are different situations, different conditions in the market, and how the seller is tackling, how he is handling such situations, such conditions, such positions in the market, that we have to see here in our particular unit. Okay, that is unit number 4. Okay, before that we have seen what is firm and what is industry. Okay, yesterday we have gone through with that in all detail, and even I have started what is competition, and that competition starts with perfect competition. Okay, when there is a single seller, when there is more than one seller, when there are numerous sellers in the market, then how it is affected with the competition. It means how the products are sold. Okay, the same product is sold by the different sellers, then how it works in the market, how the demand and supply forces decides the market structure, that we have to see here in this particular topic. So we will start with, yesterday also I have given you the idea in brief what is perfect competition. Okay, perfect competition, what is that? It means a market structure where the competition between the buyer and seller is in perfect manner. Now what we understand with this? A situation. It means when the goods are sold by the seller equally, or the combination of selling the goods and buying the goods is equal, when it is called perfect competition. Correct? Right? Then what exactly it is defined? Means the concept you have to understand first. Okay, when the goods are sold in the market by the seller, it means number of sellers equally the goods are purchased. Okay, the goods, the buyer who is buying the goods is equal, means there may be 5, 6, 7 sellers, and the buyers are also equally the similar, means the products are selling in the market, supply is according to the demand, so it is said it is affected with the demand and supply forces. So here we will see what is perfect competition. Perfect competition is a market structure. It is called a structure. Okay, it is a market structure where competition between seller and buyer exists in perfect manner. Whatever the goods are supplied, the goods are sold in the market, that is according to the demand of the product in the market. And who is raising the demand? Obviously the buyers and the customers, they are asking for such products. Okay, and once there is a demand for such products, it is supplied, it is produced by the producers, and that is why the next line says price of the commodity is determined by the demand and supply forces or sources in the market. So both buyers and sellers has to accept the existing prices. Now who is deciding the prices of the product? Obviously the seller who is selling the goods. But if the goods cost, it means the prices of the goods are reasonable, okay, that are affordable by the buyer or by the customer, then only the competition is perfect. Means whatever you have offered in the market, it is purchased by the purchaser, by the buyer. It means there is no complaint by the customers, by the buyer, that such products are very high cost or the quality of the product is not good. Such situation is not existing in the market. That is why that competition for that particular product is called as a perfect competition, right? So both buyers and sellers has to accept the existing prices. Okay, if there is a demand for a particular product, a specific commodity, the demand, when the demand is in the market, it is up to the producer and the seller to sell those goods according to the demand. Okay, and when the seller is selling the goods, okay, when the producer is producing the goods for the buyer, it means the goods rates, the prices, okay, the existing prices are accepted by the buyer, and that situation exactly is called perfect competition. Correct है? So there are such some of the characteristics, or we can say these are the ideal situations or conditions there when only perfect competition is possible or perfect competition works under such following ideal situations. Now what are these situations? Okay, the first point is large number of sellers, large number of buyers, homogeneity of the product, free entry. These are certain characteristics or the ideal situations or conditions where the perfect competition works. Rather, the perfect competition can work in such situation. Now large number of sellers, it means what? In market structure, okay, the market structure is formed by large number of firms or sellers. Okay, who is selling the goods? Producers. After production, the goods are ready to sell in the market. So individual seller of the firm, supply is just a part of it. Means see, according to the demand, the goods are produced and sold. Okay, but to fulfill the condition of perfect competition, what is required? There must be large number of sellers, because a single seller cannot decide, he cannot determine the perfect competition for the particular product or the specific commodity. Rather, there must be large number of sellers. Because there are large number of sellers, there are large number of buyers. Okay, it is a equal combination of buyers and sellers, then only perfect competition exists in the market. Then large number of buyers, again जैसे कि there are large number of buyers in perfect competition, because no individual buyer can influence the price of the product, but large number of buyers and sellers. If a single person, an individual who is going into the market to buy something, okay, and the goods are produced only as per the need of a single buyer, is it possible? No. When there in the society there are various people, various the customers, okay, the purchasers, and when a certain product is called under perfect competition, it means what? The product, the commodity which is in demand, then that demand source or that demand is specifically determined by not a single individual buyer, but more number of buyers, large number of buyers. When the large number of buyers are asking for the product, then only there are large number of sellers who are producing the goods and selling those goods in the market. And in that particular situation, in that particular condition, perfect competition works. Rather, perfect competition is possible only when there are large number of sellers and at the same time there are large number of buyers. Correct? Then next is homogeneity of the product. What we have seen, the word homogeneity means a product which is in demand. It must be of a same size, same quality, same color, so that the buyer who are buying the products, the purchaser will think, or rather they will buy those products only which is having a similarity, similar characters of that particular product. That is why it is called homogeneity of the product. There are no product differentiation, each product is identical. Buyer has no specific preference and choice. The goods are same in color, size, quality and taste. See, this is from the point of view of seller. When the goods are sold by the seller, okay, there is no product differentiation. Each product is identical. Buyer has no specific preference and choice. The goods are same in color, size, quality and taste, etc. That is why it is called homogeneity of the product. Now, free entry and exit of the firm. The firm's entry means any new firm who want to join the market, means who want to sell the product in the market. After production, the goods are sold in the market. So the entry of new firm is free. Any firm can enter into the market or leave the market. Okay, if a producer, a seller has entered in the market, but after analyzing the market, he feels that no, I am not perfect in selling my products or I am earning loss. In that case situation, he can leave the market. There is no economical, technological or financial burden to the firm's entry. Complete freedom is there in case of perfect competition. Now, perfect knowledge of market condition. Now, who can survive in such situation? Okay, the sellers who are selling the product, the seller or the producer who are producing the goods, okay, they must have the perfect knowledge of market condition. It means they must have how the perfect competition, that competition means the market condition. They must have the complete knowledge about that product, that commodity, how that product is sold by the seller. Okay, now the prices are decided by the seller obviously, but there are other persons, other competitors who are selling the same product in the market. In that case also, the perfect competition requires perfect knowledge of a product. Okay, so price discrimination can be avoided. That what is price discrimination, that we will see in our coming lectures. But for this condition, for that particular topic, the free entry and exit of the firm, perfect knowledge of the market conditions. Then mobility of factors of production. Now, what are these factors of production? Land, labor, capital. Now, which factors can be easily moved from one place to another place? That is what is called mobility. So capital and labor, these are the two factors of production. So mobility of factors of production refers to the easy move of labor and capital from one occupation to another occupation. Yesterday we have seen what is the difference between firm and industry. When we are talking about the firm, a single individual, a single seller, he can operate different firms at a time. It means what? If he can shuffle his factors of production, that is labor and capital. For example, if he is engaged in two kinds of products production, in that production process he can shuffle his factors of production. The labor can be shifted from this plant to that plant to perform or to engage themselves in that production activity. That is mobility of factors of production. Then government non-intervention. It means what? All the time the government policies regarding taxes, regarding levies, regarding what we call it tariff or subsidies, every time the policy, there is a change in the policy by the government. Means government is making changes in taxation policies, in tariff policies or in subsidies. In that case, if the perfect competition has to the situation, the ideal situation we are talking about, that means if the government is making any interventions, any changes in government policies, taxation policies, then perfect competition may get affected. Rather, the situation of perfect competition is not ideal. But if the policies are similar, those are not going to change for a year or for say 6 months, it means this is the ideal situation for the perfect competition in the market. Then what is next? Absence of transport cost. As it is assumed that all the firms are situated equally in the same distance, not away from the marketplace, which facilitates to save the transport cost. Producers operate close to the market place, so no transport cost is required. Okay, because see, for production of the goods, raw material is required, okay, there are sometimes the machineries are shifted for the maintenance purpose or repair purpose, so that it will save the transport cost. Correct hai? So these are the conditions, or these are the ideal situations or the characteristics of perfect competition. It means what? When the perfect competition will exist, okay, there are such situations, such conditions, rather these are the characteristics of perfect competition. Mean perfect competition will work successfully under such situations. If such situations are not existing in the market, then there will not be perfect competition. Correct? So these are the situations, this is the meaning of perfect competition, and these are the characteristics of perfect competition. Correct? So we will stop here, and in the next session we will see equilibrium of. Thank you. We will stop here.